Although a woman's affections for you may not always be immediately apparent, there are several signs that here are 10 subtle signals that a lady is secretly drawn to you, starting with number 1. These signs can indicate her interest. Stealing looks at you is one of the most obvious but subtle indicators that a woman is secretly attracted to you. She often steals looks at you. This behavior is motivated by a combination of admiration, desire, and curiosity. To watch you without revealing her emotions, here's a closer look at why this occurs. Curiosity, and when a lady is drawn to you, curiosity is naturally piqued. She is interested in learning more about your movements, social interactions, and even your facial expressions. She can satiate her curiosity by stealing looks at people's expressions without directly looking or expressing her interest. Evident that she may give you these looks when she believes you're not paying attention in order to adore you without secret admiration, and admiration come with a risk of being discovered. Strong driving force behind snooped looks. A woman drawn to you will probably discover that she enjoys your outward look, your behavior, or even how you dress. These brief, unlike overt staircases these days. Looks allow her a chance to appreciate you in a way that feels secure and unobtrusive. She uses fleeting looks as a means of giving in to her attraction without placing herself in danger. Fear of rejection is one of the reasons a lady could turn to sly glances rather than direct eye contact with you. She can be reluctant to tell you how she feels about you for fear of rejection or humiliation. Maintain extended eye contact since it would reveal her emotions. Yet these quick glances enable her to assess your responses and emotions without making her obvious. She might want to know if you refocus your eyes to provide her with more nuanced information about your own degree of interest, shyness, and insecurity. A lady who lacks confidence or is bashful about her emotions may find it difficult to keep your eyes on you in these situations. Taking quick peeks as a method for shyness can make it easier for her to check you out without putting you under pressure to interact directly. It's hard for her to verbally communicate how attracted she is, so these quick looks become a low-risk way of connection. She may swiftly avert her eyes when you catch her looking at you while you're not looking. A woman who steals glances but may be disguising her sentiments, yet still has a need for connection at you, is frequently involuntarily looking for a degree of connection. Eye make contact with is among the most potent nonverbal ways of communication, and by giving you a quick glance, she's trying to make a subtle connection. The act of staring at you without having to take the chance of striking up a discussion or making a clear move even for little periods of time gives her a feeling of intimacy and familiarity. Sometimes a lady who is secretly drawn to you will test your awareness by stealing. Looks to see if you're paying attention to her. If she sees you gazing back at her, she might give you a tiny. It may be her method of getting a sense of confirmation that you're aware of her existence and may even be interested in her. Determining if two people are attracted to each other without having to address the matter head-on. Number 2, increase worried energy. A lady may show signs of increased nervous energy if she is secretly attracted to you. The desire to create a good impression and the thrill of being near someone she thinks attractive are the main causes of anxiousness. Here are some typical, one of the most obvious indicators of nervous energy is restlessness and fidgeting, which are actions that indicate this elevated worry. If restless, she might fiddle with her hair, alter her attire, or touch herself constantly. Her face when she's with you. They are frequently inadvertent attempts at self-calming and distracting her attention. Tension away from the depth of her emotions, such as by twirling a hair strand around her finger, or this is how she handles things, smoothing down her garments even if they don't need to be adjusted. The emotional upheaval a woman is going through in your presence is causing her to halt awkwardly or stumble over words. who experiences anxiety as a result of her attraction may find it difficult to express herself. She might begin a statement, and then she pauses excessively or stumbles over basic sentences because she is over-analyzing her answers and wants to appear clever or bright. Yet these speech hesitancies are caused by a feeling of being agitated, since she can feel tongue-tied as a consequence of her mind racing to come up with the ideal thing to say. Excessive blushing and avoidance of eye contact. Blushing is an uncontrollable emotion that may reveal her attraction. Despite her best efforts to suppress it, her body can betray her. She may blush more frequently when you're close by, especially if you catch her off guard. She may have trouble keeping your stare for an extended period of time, yet the intensity of the she might suddenly avert her gaze, appearing embarrassed by the amount of information she's disclosing without speaking. When she's with you, she can exhibit tense laughter, which is another sign of attraction-related discomfort, chuckle at incongruous situations or laugh when it doesn't seem appropriate to do so. This kind of she might laugh too, but her laughter usually acts as a rel vowel for her anxious energy. She tries to deal with the intensity of the emotion she is feeling by speaking louder or for longer lengths of time than normal. Abrupt behavioral changes around you. You may also notice changes in her energy levels fluctuate when you're together. She can seem serene one minute and agitated or overexcited the next. Afterward, these behavioral changes frequently mirror the internal conflict she experiences while attempting to maintain her emotions. For example, she may be speaking to you casually at first, but as soon as the topic becomes more, she might experience a sudden spike in her nervous energy, which would change how she acts. Her nervous energy is an obvious clue that she is conscious of how she comes across to you in her tone of voice, body language, and subtle. Her underlying attraction and the associated feelings of excitement and terror are the source of all of her behavioral alterations. Number 3. Behaves differently around you. One of the most obvious indicators that a woman is secretly drawn to you is her behavior. She acts very differently with you than she does with other people. This subtle but noticeable difference in behavior observable if you look closely. Here are some particular ways that this behavioral difference appears more subtly. A woman who is secretly drawn to you might speak to you in a softer or more compassionate tone of voice. This shift in tone may be a subliminal indication that she wants to have a closer, more caring relationship with you. She may even reduce her voice a little bit while you're conversing in private or when she feels especially close to you. Softening your voice conveys intimacy and exclusivity, letting her know you have her all to yourself. More civility and attentiveness. You might observe that she treats you with more politeness or attention than while with others. She might make the extra effort to show consideration by inquiring about how your day was, expressing concern for your health, or being exceptionally nice in your interactions. This increased civility isn't only an example of her politeness, it's also her attempt to ensure that you have a favorable impression of her. Offer to assist you with little jobs. Keep in mind private information you've revealed, or inquire further about anything you've discussed in earlier discussions, all to demonstrate that she is more concerned with giving a lady who is, even in social situations, a woman who is secretly drawn to you, will frequently give you her whole attention when she may be interacting with. You'll notice that she pays more attention to what you say, laughing at your jokes, and interacting with everyone. She might lean in slightly as you speak, or she might arrange herself in a way that allows her to reply to your words more attentively. That facilitates her keeping eye contact with you. This degree of focus indicates that she's tiny alterations in her body language that convey that she is sincerely interested in you and values your opinions. She might speak differently when you're around. She might also sit or stand a little more erect and smooth her clothes more. Even her posture may change regularly, or she may tweak her hair, as though she's unintentionally trying to look her best for you. Change. She might lean her body in your direction, or get closer to you than she usually does. You may also see that she changed her mood or behavior in an effort to subtly express her interest. Acts more hesitantly and apprehensively, or even more assuredly while you're around. For instance, a typically outgoing lady may suddenly become more quiet and restrained in your presence out of concern for her. Her regular gregarious behavior could reveal her attraction more readily than usual. When you're around, a shy lady can force herself to be more conversational and interesting in an attempt to get your attention. She is attempting to find the ideal balance between being herself and making more eye contact with you, which is why she is changing. Even while making direct eye contact is a recognized indication of interest from a lady who is secretly drawn to you. Timid times may make more subtle eye contact and keep your gaze longer than she does with other people. However, she might easily turn aside and pretend like nothing happened, but she feels like she's been caught gazing. She appears drawn to you based on her pattern of making direct eye contact and then avoiding or being bashful for short periods of time. Laughs at your jokes more readily, not wanting to be overt about it. When you're around, people may also laugh a little more often and sincere, even if your jokes aren't that funny. This is a subdued method of letting her know that she finds you charming and appreciates your company. Laughter is a powerful social connective, and it's an indication of a healthy emotional connection when she laughs more readily in your presence. Her distinct behavior towards you is an obvious sign of her attraction, even though she makes an effort to hide her feelings. The way she behaves speaks more than words ever could, as all of these indications suggest that she is drawn to, in a specific and distinct way. Number 4 reflects your behavior. When a woman mimics your behavior, it's frequently a subliminal expression of attraction, and/or this phenomena called the fundamental psychological principle is that when we are drawn to or sense a connection with, when we unintentionally imitate someone else's actions, it demonstrates our emotional involvement and fosters a sense of, here are the causes of this behavior in terms of the relationship between two individuals. Subconscious synchronization is a phenomenon in which a woman mimics your behavior. Synchronization. This kind of nonverbal cue frequently indicates that she feels at ease with you and wants to deeper connection. Mirroring behaviors might take on subtle forms, including mimicking your stance, hand movements, or even the two of you in harmony with the synchronization of your voice rates, which, although it may not be quite obvious to you, is a reliable sign of attraction forming, or people mirroring one another feel at ease with, and it facilitates communication without using words when she mimics your body language or gestures. Language. It's clear that she wants to establish a relationship with you and foster a sense of unity. This is a deliberate behavior, encourages understanding between people, which is important in romantic attraction. If you see her mimicking your behavior, even tiny ones like crossing your legs or taking a sip of your drink, is probably because she feels a bond with you and want to reciprocate that bond in return. Mutual comfort and trust mirroring is frequently a sign that she feels at ease with you, because when we are comfortable with someone, we naturally unwind and become comparable body language. A subliminal nonverbal indicator that indicates she feels. If she continuously imitates your behavior, it's obvious that she feels secure with you and trusts you. A bond, and since trust is the basis of deeper romantic impulses, an essential component of any relationship is the display of a deeper want to relate, which mirrors her desire to relate. She is subtly indicating to you that she wants to be in tune by matching your body language. With you both mentally and emotionally, it's a means of expressing understanding and a sense of connection. Although mimicry is frequently unconscious, it indicates that she wants to share your ideas and opinions with you. Feeling number 5. Regular physical contact or close proximity are some of the best markers of attraction. If a woman is drawn to you in secret, she might look for opportunities to bridge the distance between you physically by putting oneself in your proximity or by making inconspicuous touches. Why these behaviors indicate attraction? Touch is a potent non-verbal communication tool that seeks physical connection. Touching you often is one of the most personal ways for a woman to communicate her desire, and it can be her method of making physical contact with you. This could begin with simple, mild touches like brushing her hand on your shoulder or her arm during a discussion. These gestures are not by happenstance. Rather, they are purposeful but nuanced attempts to convey her interest in a way that seems right. A person's natural, non-intrusive comfort level with physical proximity when they are drawn to. If a woman is drawn to you, she could look for reasons to be closer to you. They frequently try to be nearer to you, whether by leaning in during talks, standing or sitting close to you, or discovering methods to be physically present in your area. This closeness shows that she feels comfortable being near you, which suggests a deeper degree of emotional closeness. Her desire to be close to you implies that he feels secure and at ease in your presence. Touching can also be a means for a woman to test limits, which are significant preludes to romantic desire. The limits of your comfort zone and assess your reaction with a few light-hearted touches so she can watch how you respond. And whether you return the favor by responding well to her touches, it offers her a feeling of encouragement, and she might feel more comfortable expressing her desire in this reciprocal dynamic, helps create the tension that frequently opens the door to more intimate and touching romantic relationships. And closeness are additional strategies to start a conversation about intimacy without a woman needing to express her attraction. To touch is a means for her to communicate her sentiments to you, but she doesn't want to be overt about it. Convey her interest in you both physically and emotionally. Every touch or intimate time is a tiny step in the right direction, toward closer quarters, enabling her to communicate her desire while preserving a certain amount of mystery, not non-verbal signals of interest. Her interest in you is confirmed by her closeness and touch. A woman's physical proximity to you is her way of conveying, "I like being around you and feel comfortable in your presence," and these subliminal cues might speak more than words, since they let her express her sentiments without her having to express things clearly. If she constantly looks for chances to be close to you or develops methods to physical contact, is a certain sign of her attraction. The 6th sign of attraction in your life occurs when a lady who is secretly drawn to you will show you that she is very interested in you by showing you this over-in-interest shows that she's invested in getting to know you better than just a passing curiosity. Here's how this shows up and why it's a clear sign of her repressed emotions when she answers inquiries frequently as a woman. Who is secretly drawn to you will probe you extensively regarding your hobbies and experiences. She's curious about your passions, what drives you, and how you spend your time. This is her method of establishing a rapport and identifying points of agreement. She can ask about your upbringing, your desired job, or even your daily activities. These inquiries aid in her mental reconstruction of your life and where she may fit in, because she asks questions in addition to recalling specifics. Nonetheless, she also retains the specifics of what you've said, such as if you mention a favorite. She might mention your pastime or a favorite dish later on in the conversation, or she might surprise you with something connected. It's a subtle way of saying that she's listening intently to what you say because it matters to her. Proving your significance in her life by following up, she will do so on items you've already discussed. If you told her about a crucial meeting at work or a trip you were organizing, she might inquire about it or show sincere interest in learning more about you. This is an indication that she cares about you and isn't just being polite. A woman who is secretly drawn to you, the results of your experiences, curiosity in your history and future. She may inquire about your past and future, wanting to know about your early years, your relationships, and your long-term objectives. This aids in her comprehension of what molded you into the individual you are today, and your plans for the future, perhaps implying that she would like to be included in that future Egan too. In addition to showing interest in your life, she will be excited to share her own experiences and ideas with you. This is her attempt to build a relationship with you that she's probably hoping that if you allow yourself to be open to you, you'll do the same, forging a deeper connection. Exchanges where she shows an excessive amount of interest in your life, which indicates her desire to be. By expressing interest in your individual experiences, she's bringing you closer to her perception of yourself, more than simply a passing acquaintance, and wishes to strengthen your bond. Number 7 turns into envious or defensive. Envy and defensiveness are strong feelings that frequently come to the surface. When a lady is subtly drawn to you and someone else has intense affections for them, these sentiments can become especially obvious, despite her best efforts to conceal them. Here's how you could identify these subtle indicators of jealousy that a lady you're attracted to but hasn't told you about could display. When you connect with other women, she may exhibit subtle signs of jealousy, such as becoming quiet, withdrawn, or even a little snarky. She might not express her jealousy outright when she sees you chatting to someone else, but you might sense a difference in her behavior. When other women are around, she reacts in a way that reflects her fear. Fear of being ignored by someone else, even if she hasn't expressed her sentiments to you or to herself, has grown. You may observe that she becomes more loving or attentive when other ladies are around. This may be her way of showing you. She might participate in more if she can discreetly make her presence known and remind you of her interest without coming across as overt. Talk, laugh a little more at your jokes, or want to be closer to you physically when she feels competitive. Conduct protectiveness can take many forms. For example, she may become more giving you advice or watching out for you in social circumstances when someone says something because they care about your well-being. If she has anything bad to say about you, she might come to your support right away, even if it's not serious or intended in jest. Her act of being too protective is her way of expressing how much she values you and that she doesn't want anyone to mistreat or hurt you. Threats. A woman who is secretly drawn to you may overreact in circumstances when she feels that you are at danger. Even if you're just buddies, she can raise significant concerns. Out of you hanging out with another lady, or voice your worries about a female buddy who appears to be becoming too close. Overreaction indicates that even though she hasn't acknowledged you, she still feels protective of you. Emotional reactions, such as rage, grief, or frustration, can also result from jealousy sentiments. If you observe that she exhibits extraordinary emotional outbursts when talking about your relationships with other women, there may be an indication that she's having trouble expressing her affections for you. She may not be ready to do so publicly, but they can continue to respond to her in an attempt to appear more favorable to a woman who is secretly drawn to you, may unintentionally attempt to portray herself as a superior choice compared to other women in your life. She may highlight her positive attributes, minimize the shortcomings of other women, or discreetly draw attention to what she has to offer that others. Can't you see that this is her attempt to get your attention without asking for it directly? Protectiveness and jealousy are powerful signs of attraction, since they show that she views you as someone precious and worthy of being kept close, even though she hasn't shown her affections in public. These feelings suggest that she worries losing you to someone else, since she is so invested in your relationship. Number 8. Engages in playful taunting is one of the most traditional and efficient ways for someone to convey their attraction without. When a lady playfully and light-heartedly teases you, it might be a way for them to openly express their sentiments. Blatant indication that she is attracted to you, but is hesitant to show her strength or vulnerability. This explains why light-hearted jesting is a reliable sign of someone gauging interest in you behind closed doors. She tests your response to her by teasing you, which gives her a low-risk approach to see how you react, without running the danger of being rejected outright by making light-hearted jokes or harmless jabs at you. She's trying to establish a connection where you feel confident enough to joke back. If you give a favorable response, that's a sign that you like having her around and that you may feel the same way about two buildings' rapports. Light-hearted taunting encourages a feeling of unity and connection. It breaks the ice and contributes to creating a light-hearted, carefree, and entertaining teasing dynamic. Enables her to have a special flirty relationship with you that may be distinguished from other relationships she has. When you joke around with other people, it becomes a means of enticing you into her world and strengthening your bond. 3. Tease her without showing vulnerability is an indirect flirting method that allows her to reveal her curiosity without exposing oneself too much emotionally. This builds a humorous barrier, letting her communicate with you in a way that suggests her feelings without saying them out loud, like when she may make light of anything you said or make fun of you for a small error. But beyond the comedy, there are frequently sincere love and respect. 4. Establishing a light-hearted dynamic. Teasing adds enjoyment, and incorporating a fun element into your encounters can foster a light and enjoyable dynamic, particularly when a woman participates. She's attempting to establish a relationship through light-hearted banter rather than just serious conversation. This light-hearted back and forth in discussion might develop into a constant internal joke between the two of you, strengthening the bond. 5. Flattery in disguise. Occasionally, teasing can conceal compliments. For instance, can be appropriate if she makes fun of you for being overconfident or for always knowing what to say. Taunting in this way is frequently her method of expressing her admiration for these aspects of you. How congratulate you subtly without seeming overtly assertive or aggressive. Number 9. Sudden shyness or awkwardness. If a lady is secretly drawn to you, she might act bashful or awkward around you out of the blue. Because it indicates that she is emotionally impacted, this change in behavior is frequently a telltale sign of attraction by you, despite her best efforts to conceal it, which is why her sudden shyness or awkwardness often suggests that a single emotional excess attraction might trigger a wave of feelings, which in certain cases can show themselves as anxiety or shyness when a woman discovers herself. When someone powerfully attracts her, her brain may go into overdrive, making her hyper-aware of and self-conscious of. Because of this emotional overload, she may feel uncomfortable or uneasy about how she should behave, resulting in a shift in conduct that might not be consistent with her customary self-assurance. 2. Dread of disclosing. Her dread of revealing her sentiments too soon may be the source of her feelings' sudden brilliance. She may worry that if she acts confidently or normally with you, you'll notice that she's attracted to you and that she might not be ready to make the move. She may act more reserved, avoiding eye contact, or express her feelings as a result, reducing the length of the discourse from the typical 3-2 analytical exchanges. When you're around, a lady who is secretly drawn to you could question everything she says or does, or overthink everything, whether she's coming off well, if she's being very direct, or whether she's saying the correct thing in this situation. Overanalyzing might result in awkward silences or a struggle to find the right words when she's trying too hard to avoid making a mistake. Error that can endanger her chances of getting together with you. 4 signs of shyness that she feels exposed to danger in your company. A woman is more vulnerable when she is drawn to you. She is vulnerable because she is concerned about your opinion of her, which can make her anxious and make her act in a certain way. That is different from her typical demeanor. She might blush more readily, steer clear of certain subjects, or become more withdrawn in an effort to shield her emotions. 5. Deviating from her typical abrupt shyness or awkwardness in her behavior is particularly suggestive of out-of-character behavior if she is normally extroverted and self-assured, but awkward or bashful in your presence. It's highly suggestive of an emotional effect on her. She might tremble with laughter, grow calmer, or even appear a little aloof while she attempts to manage her attraction. 6. Avoiding eye contact. Avoiding direct eye contact is one of the basic indicators of shyness, so if she's having trouble meeting your gaze, she might look at you swiftly, but it's probably because staring into your eyes seems too intense or revealing for her, leaving just as quickly, letting you know that she's anxious about you seeing the feelings in her eyes. This behavior, frequently number 10, gently and deeply compliments you, indicating that she is feeling more deeply but isn't ready to disclose them yet. Breakdown. A woman's subtle complimenting behavior is one of the clear signals that she is secretly attracted to you. Your remarks are an expression of gratitude, and in the context of attraction, they can show how much she recognizes and appreciates particular aspects of you. But when a woman is attempting to hide her emotions, she may give these praises in a more subtle or informal manner to prevent drawing too much attention to her. Let's examine how and why her hidden interest is shown by her modest compliments, as well as what you should. Observing minute nuances in these exchanges is one of the main ways that a woman's inconspicuous remarks indicate her curiosity, as seen by her keen observation that she may not be unduly effusive in her praise, but she will give you compliments on details that most people would miss. Like she would say that she finds your watch appealing, the way you arranged your hair differently, or the way you wear a particular fragrance. These little things demonstrate how much more attentive she is to you than most casual acquaintances would be. Observe why this is significant. It indicates that she is concentrating on you in a way that suggests attraction. Because nuances about people in general are only noticed and complimented when they are really interested in them, her attention to detail can appear to indicate a deeper degree of concentration and interest that she is not exhibiting. 2 light-hearted remarks to others about a lady who seems interested in you, but trying to hide her feelings could allow her to express her appreciation in a light-hearted, almost fun way. Offer you condescending remarks that are laced with light-hearted humor, which lessens the impact of the praise, but nevertheless expresses her respect, as in, "You're pretty good at this, aren't you?" When she compliments you on a job well done, the light-hearted tone hides her underlying attraction and why it matters. She can compliment you because of this light-hearted teasing. She utilizes comedy to show you how much she values you without coming across as overly serious or sensitive. The humor makes her feel at ease and diverts attention from her true sentiments, enabling her to show curiosity without running the risk of excessive emotional exposure. 3 remarks that are directed at your subtle praises don't always have to focus on your personality or abilities. Looks-wise, a lady who is secretly drawn to you might be more likely to compliment your character qualities. Abilities or special skills, she might say that she thinks your sense of humor is hilarious. These compliments are frequently more meaningful since they demonstrate your intelligence or how composed you are under pressure. Why it matters when a lady compliments you is because she is drawn to your deeper traits in addition to your appearance. She seems drawn to more than just surface-level things based on your personality or abilities. Qualities she's emphasizing your accomplishments and character, which points to a deeper and more intimate relationship. This kind of praise is typically more sincere and considerate, since it frequently expresses her greater respect for compliments that are masked as insights about who you are as a person. Another type of subtle compliments can take the form of straightforward observations, such as what she might say. Do you have a knack for making others feel at ease while delivering statements that seem to be on point all the time? Though presented as casual remarks, they are essentially compliments that, by the way she said them, express her admiration for you. Praises as observations, she refrains from being very direct, which enables her to conceal her emotions while recognizing your good qualities and why it matters. This approach enables her to praise you in a way that makes you feel less exposed by masking her appreciation as a comment. She keeps a level of emotional detachment, but the fact that she's expressing these thoughts indicates that she's aware of what you're doing. And personality, indicating that she finds these attributes appealing, even if she isn't saying it out loud.